Let's have some fun, shall we? This is Into the Breach. This is made by the same people who did FTL, or Faster Than Light. And I was curious about this game, and I tried the game out, and I'm actually enjoying the game. It does get challenging. It's a tactical game, so there's also thinking involved, and we all know that I'm not good at thinkings, but here we go. So yeah, you have your Time Traveler, which will be one of the pilots of your mechs, and you can choose which one. I just usually leave it on. So far, I've been leaving it on the first guy, and since it's going to be their um, first video, let's start with the starting. So we're going to start with what the game gives you at the beginning. So we're going to play with Ralph Carr. You can actually change the name, but we're not going to bother with that. So the game gives you this guy and this squad to start off with. And like I said, it's a tactical game. And these are the islands that you have to secure. Now, when you start off, you only have this island, and you have to unlock each one of them in the order. But in order to get to the end game, you only need to beat 2 of the 4. So we're going to start with this, since this is the first island that you would start with. And yeah, so you see each of these tiles, they each have symbols on them, and the only ones we can the only ones that we can do are the ones that are connected to the HQ and so on. And so the icons are basically these. So the star gives you reputation, which you use at the end once you secure the island, to spend for more weapons, reactor, which you need points to put into these pegs, or increase your power grid. And power grid just says, it means how much damage your civilian buildings can take before the game is over. So you start off with 5. You can go up to 7. If you get more than 7, it'll just go into defense grid, which will raise the chances of the civilian building from taking damage. Prevent the building from taking damage. I think I said it right the first time. I don't know. But yeah. So this is interesting. So I kind of want to go boom, 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 boom. Just go this way. However, I will say once there's 3 missions left on the island, those get wiped away, and then the HQ becomes attacked, and you have to do the HQ mission. And then once you beat that, the island is secured, and then you move on to the next island. So we're going to start with this, just because it gives me 2 rewards instead of this. I think this might be easier to do, but we're going to start off with this. So each mech you get is unique. So since we're using the starter ones, I'm just going to call it starter because that's easier. That's probably easier to do. It's easier to say. So this guy punches. He does a lot of punching. This is basically a tank. It shoots things. And this is your artillery. Cannot talk. This one's kind of neat because this one can shoot over obstacles, but it cannot shoot a tile in front of you. This guy just shoots in a straight line, the cannon one. But yeah, I like to put the artillery in the back because, like I said, since he can shoot over obstacles, he can stay in the back and still pelt things from a distance. And these are unique. Any unit that stops on the space will trigger the mine and be killed. So even us. So if we step on it, we lose the mech. If they step on it, they die. Um, the way this game works is that the enemy takes their turn preparing, and then you take your turn to disrupt the enemy. And then once you finish your turn, the enemies will take their action. And then they'll prepare again, you take your next turn, and so on and so on. And you just basically have to survive this many turns. And then you got bonus objectives. So, block spawning. So, once we start the mission, and protect means protect this building back here. So, the enemies are moving in position. And that enemy was dumb. Okay, so these warnings are the Vex spawning. You can actually block them by standing on it or having something stand on it. And it will damage the object that's on it, but it will prevent it from spawning for that turn. It will still get spawned if you move off the tile, but as long as you're standing on the tile, it will not spawn, and you'll take damage each turn. So, what do we do here? So, this guy also arcs, so he's hitting this building, which we do not want that happening. I want to try to prevent as much damage as possible, because every time you take, I think I explained that, but every time your civilian gets damaged, you lose a power grid, and once that drops to 0, it's game over. There is a chance that they can resist the damage, but it's only 15% right now. And I don't want to take that chance, so the only one that can deal with this guy is the artillery. So each of your attacks have some form of knockback or push or whatever you want to call it. So his attack, he's going to damage the initial target, but he's going to push everything around it by 1 square. So you see that this beetle is going to get pushed back into the water. And the funny thing about this, it drowns. Because if it was the flying unit, it would actually survive, but since it's not, it just falls in the water and drowns. And yeah, so like I said, we cannot stand on the mines because that would kill us, and we could push one onto the mines, but I don't know if it's... Now, we could walk across it just fine, we just can't end on them. Yeah. We just cannot end the turn on the mine. Or end our movement, I should say. Now, I do want to block. That's not a good idea. We are going to move him because I want to knock him away from attacking this building. This guy's attacking me, so I don't really care where he's at. Although, I could just do this. No, he can't walk there. We are going to prevent a spawn, so... Oh yeah, when you push an enemy into another enemy, or if an object hits another object, both of the objects takes 1 damage. I think that's also something worth noting. So I could do this. This will kill the beetle. This will push the scorpion thing into my guy. My guy will take damage, but he will die in the process as well. Which I'm not sure if I really want to do. I don't think there's any point of doing that. But we'll go and knock that guy out and kill that and push this guy out of the way. Alright. If I can block 2 spawns this coming turn, that'd be great. kind of want to move him out of the way. Alright, so we're going to move him. Remove him here, since it doesn't matter. And we're going to punch this guy up. Could I have? No, I couldn't have. And I do have an action available, but there's no point in there's no point in attacking because there's nothing to hit. I can hit that mountain. Woo! Alright. These guys are annoying. They don't attack, but they provide a passive for all the other bugs. So this one heals them at the start of the turn. But we don't want that, so go away. Hey, you know what? We could do this. Hehehe, we'll knock you into the Oh yeah, there's also a turn order. I guess we'll look at that. We'll look at that next mission. So we're gonna go down to ohmTown. So this one, there's nothing really any different about it, but so this one we have to take less than 3, basically make sure our buildings don't get hit 3 times, and protect the power generator, which is this right here. That's our bonus objective. Our main objective is just surviving the turns. And the pod. The pod is interesting. So pods, they give you bonus resources at the end, but you can either land on it, which will give you the time pod, or you could make sure it survives until the end of the fight to get the reward. So this one, we're going to move you here. We're going to push you in the water. We're just going to kill this guy. You do have to be careful when you push enemies, and I forgot to show the turn order. Because you don't want to, like, knock an enemy into... an enemy attacking a building into another building in its path. So, like, if I knock... Here, let's... Well, here. We'll show turn order. So, turn order, as you can see, that means his... the first action is going to happen is, his healing's going to take effect. And then he's going to attack... He's going to attack second, and he's going to attack fourth. And this guy doesn't attack at all, so. And then, of course, enemy emerges at the end of the turn. But yeah, as I was saying, you don't want to knock enemies into in path of hitting another building. So you see, I wish I kind of showed it. Yeah, so this guy is hitting this building. So if I knocked him over, he would be pushed this square, but his attack range will still be this distance. So he'd be standing here and then hitting this building instead at this. So you want to push him away from the building. Now the nice thing about our mechs is that we can survive in water. We just won't be able to act in water. We can move out of water and then attack and all that, but let me rephrase. You can be in water, but you won't be able to attack. you could still move. So let's do this, because that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of this guy, because I don't like him. Oh yeah, I guess I should explain this too. There are certain tiles that are unique, like the forest tile. If they get damaged, it becomes fire. And any unit that stands on this starts taking fire damage at the start of each turn. So, as you can see on the attack order, fire damage would happen first. So if this guy was on fire at the start of the turn, he will die before making his attack. And we're just gonna punch. Actually, you're attacking me, so I don't really care what happens to you. Also, make sure to be careful not to hit your own buildings. Like, they cannot be pushed, but you can still damage them. This game does get hard, but so far it's not. It's been kind to me so far. Now, these scorpions wed me, so I cannot move. However, if I push the scorpion or the target out of his path, I can walk, or I can move. But as it stands now, I am unable to move. This guy will push, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be taking damage from these, but not as. I'm not taking damage from both. Actually, I think I could prevent all the damage if I did this smart. So we punch this guy, and we shoot him out. Alright, so we protected our guys. And like I said, this game will get difficult. It does get harder the more you progress. So now that we protected our time pod, we get rewards. We get a pilot and a reactor. Getting a pilot's nice. Okay, both of these are nice to get. Rewards are rewards are great to get. And this guy leveled up. Each pilot has 2 levels, and the special pilots have a bonus skill and then 2 unlockables. So this guy will always have experience when you have him. She's always going to have that unaffected by webbing and smoke. But the +1 mech reactor is going to be random every time you either start with a new pilot or find random pilots. And as you can see, they don't have anything, they don't have anything. They will unlock them, but right now they don't have anything. But I'm going to use... Actually, I feel like you would be better for this just to prevent the web. Oh, I do feel like she would be better on this, since he's the melee one, and you don't really want to get stuck with him. Although, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. You know, we'll use this reactor that we got. Now we can dash punch. So that's pretty cool. So we have basically 2 left. And I think I'm actually going to save the next few missions for the next episode. So instead of making a long episode, I think I'll just split it up into multiple smaller episodes. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. And I'm sorry if I'm cutting this short, but I feel like it'd be better than just making it one long episode. And yeah, I'll see you in the next Into the Breach.